treat you good.
Shut down the 101, right? This was, for some people, a stunt that they've never seen before, right? So I got to first start by asking, whose idea was it? Was this a collective effort, or was it one of you guys that came up with the idea?
As far as ideas, you know, one of our girlfriends came forward and came up with this great idea. She said, why don't you guys play down the freeway to raise awareness for the homeless children? And we were like, play down the freeway, why don't we stop the freeway? And we went ahead and moved forward.
Mm-hmm. And then, so what kind of, I'm like envisioning this kind of, you guys in a dark room with like these blueprint plans of like, here's what we're gonna do. Is that how it went down?
Well, first of all, just to go back, I don't think anybody's ever seen anybody shut the freeway down, right?
Right.
So it's new for everybody. It was a fresh look to raise awareness for the 1.5 million homeless children. And you know, we have some really badass music that we love to play and hope everybody enjoys as well. So sitting around hatching that plan, are you allowed to say that?
Here's the other thing. We were accused of shutting down the freeway. We haven't been convicted of shutting down the freeway. So we're still being accused of that. That's not something that's...
It's an alleged thing that the freeway was shut down.
Right.
I don't have enough information to talk about that at this point. However, it is about the 1.5 million homeless children in the USA that we're raising awareness for.
5 seconds left.
Now, has the money already been delivered to the charity?
It has been delivered, the $30,000, and then we will disperse the funds to a number of very hardworking charities. Yes.
Okay. And so you guys, and you're all suited out because you guys just came from your arraignment, correct?
Yeah, fresh out of arraignment.
Okay.
Got moved to the misdemeanor court, which is good news for us.
So what? Yeah, go. I'm sorry. Go.
You know, there were no guns or drugs or anything involved. You know, we're not that hardcore criminals, and yeah, like we said, we're still being arraigned, and now we're in misdemeanor court, which is good news for us.
Take me through that moment when the cops come and the fire trucks come. What are they telling you guys?
At that point, they're telling us you guys need to get down. Now, mind you, this truck is 12 or 14 feet off the floor. It's not like we can just super jump and superhero right off the top of it, right?
Right.
So we're playing. We can't get down. So we're like, listen, you know, we're playing a show here. You know, we got a lot of fans honking and getting excited about this. So why don't you go get us a ladder, and we'll get down. And to which they responded, you know, you guys can go do your thing, and then we'll go get a ladder, which was great. Chris said something great. So Chris,
actually, what they said is the police officer, I think Officer Adams says, you know what, you guys got 10 minutes. 10 minutes, you guys get down. And if you don't get down, we're gonna beanbag you and taser you. So at that point, we were like, okay. So they showed up, ladder sets up, and now we're looking at him. Here comes another officer pulling out the gauge on us. It's green gauge, and he's like, we have a beanbag right now. We're gonna shoot you. So we're just kind of like stand back.
We don't want to.
We're like, we don't want to get shot.
We have to.
You know?
He had this look on his face like, get some, it's going down.
Have any of you guys ever been tased before?
No.
No.
Not
with the little one, you know what I mean, on some jackass.
Right,
you know what I mean? But not like the one that shoots out and projects at you and sticks you in the chest.
Flop around like a fish on the floor. No, I've never had that happen, fortunately.
So the Star Wagon's only actually blocking 4 lanes, right?
3 of the 4.
I'm sorry, 3 of the 4 lanes.
Yeah.
Now, was that a conscious decision to let at least one of the lanes pass by?
I think you got to let a little flow go by, because you got to have, you know, let people have places to go. People have people to see, and so we want to have flow traffic going. And there was no shoulder, unfortunately. Such a bummer. There was no sentence passed today.
Okay.
Basically, we showed up at the court where the felons go, and they said, actually, you're not being tried as a felon. You're going to be moved over to the misdemeanor court. So we're still waiting our arraignment there to be in the misdemeanor court. So there is actually no sentencing or anything been passed as of yet.
Okay. DJs all across the country, right, are responding and kind of talking about this. And there are people that say, you know what, why does a band have to do this kind of stunt or antic, right, to get their music listened to? You know, if they're that good, they shouldn't have to do something like this to kind of get attention. What do you say to that?
I want to say something to that. I think, you know, this is a novelty song. We made this song for the whole show, you know, and I think it served its purpose, you know. When they start to hear the rest of our album, I think they're going to be amazed on our production and the way our album sounds. And at that point, you know, nobody liked Elvis Presley when he came out. Nobody liked any of these groups when they first come out. That's how it starts. And unfortunately, today in the society we're in, you know, music labels have dropped the bottoms out from under them, and it's all about independence. So Imperial One Entertainment has pushed and done their own independence. And how can you hate if you are a DJ? I mean, you know, and if you are hating, it's because you just don't have any pull.
Another thing too, let me say something. We wouldn't have jumped on the freeway to do a show just to promote our music. We had a good cause attached to it, and that's why we jumped on the freeway to do it, to raise that much awareness about 1.5 million homeless children. The freeway thing wasn't about our music. We've only put one song out. And anyway, we've done a couple of shows in Hollywood lately too. The crowd is jumping, the DJs love it, the club is just banging. So I don't care what the internet thugs say. You know, your hate fuels my success, and I love you too. I love you for it.
What would have happened if, you know, there's a pregnant woman that can't get to the hospital in time, there's somebody that's diabetic, or, you know, a slew of other possibilities that could have gone on, and people are only squeezing through one lane on one of the country's busiest highways.
There's a million what ifs. Hindsight's 20/20, right? We can look back and go, what if this, what if that, what if the other thing? The great thing is that nothing bad happened, and we're happy about that, and that the awareness for the 1.5 million homeless children was brought up, and that's a positive thing. So what if? We're just glad that nothing did.
Right.
And another thing on that note is traffic was already at butts to nuts.
LA
so
traffic
you know,
is
it was already
anyway.
101 parking lot, people. This is not, you know, something that all we did is you know, clogged up 45 minutes. And don't be mad at us. That's our favorite slogan right now. Don't be mad at us if you lost your job because you're a dirtbag and didn't have good rapport with your company. That's not our fault. What is our fault is that we're being accused for something. However, the traffic was already at a complete stop. This is not something that is abnormal on the 101 freeway. It's not a secret, so just something to people to bark at.
And people can go check where these donations are going to the charities. They can come and look online. They can see that it's documented that we're doing shows such as like Toys for Tots in San Diego we have coming up. We have a charity event at the Highlands on December 3rd coming up. We have all kinds of charity shows coming up that we're actually going to be giving back to these organizations that will be documented, and they're legitimate organizations, and people can see that.
Hey, we're the Imperial Stars, and you're on rockarazzi.com.
Well, I'll treat you good.